episode of Retail Cafe by Retail. We are back to make your Monday mornings more interesting with a new episode. Today we have with us none other than Akshay Jatia, who is the ED of Westlife Food World, which is a master franchisee of McDonald's in West and South. Welcome, Akshay, to the new episode of Retail Cafe.
Thank you so much for having me.
So tell me, how has been your experience like becoming an entrepreneur? I mean, you wanted to be a part of retail industry since your childhood because you must have seen your parents talking about McDonald's food every time. Did it incite you, or what was the idea behind joining McDonald's?
So essentially, my parents started this business and the brand in the country when I was around 5 years old. We launched our first McDonald's in 1996, and I've essentially grown up with the brand. Our office, in fact, was behind our house. So, every time I had a holiday or came home early from school, I would go to see my parents, since both my mom and dad worked at the business and continue to work at the business. So it's been, a part of my childhood, part of my life. However, when I went to study abroad, I studied finance. So I was always intrigued by finance and wanted to stay on in New York to work at a financial institution. But as I saw this category grow in the country, and I saw, between 2010 onwards, the opportunity at hand, I couldn't resist but come back and try to add value and help grow the business in the country. Because, that's when we became a licensee. That's when we started investing significant amount of capital to grow the business. And we went from 100 restaurants back in 2010 to around 360 today.
Oh, that's very nice. So what was one thing which actually attracted you to this business?
I think it was just the whole focus on the consumer, because I think that's what defines a successful business today. Whether you're in banking, whether you're in internet startups, FMCG companies, or even QSR companies, I think consumer is the number one focus, and the consumer defines now what a company should offer and stand for. And I think I felt I had a good knack for that. I felt that that's the right place to learn and the right place to be. So what better than an opportunity to kind of serve the number of customers we serve at McDonald's today?
So actually tell me one thing, that you have joined the family business, being a second generation entrepreneur. What is one thing that you find that your parents weren't doing right and you wanted to come and change the things over here?
So I always learn from everyone, and I think my parents have done a fantastic job in setting up the foundation and running the business for the last 25 years. They continue to play a very strong advisory role, but I think it was my role now to build on the foundation that they've set. So being a millennial digital maverick, I was able to bring in a lot of digital centric initiatives. So number one was our home delivery business, which back in 2014-15, when I joined the company, was almost non-significant, but we identified it as a growth project. That was done by the leadership team, including my parents at the time, and they gave me the opportunity to grow this, being someone so attuned to technology and digital. And coming from there, I've continued to add value, whether it's through McCafe, whether it's through our breakfast portfolio, heading technology, and finally crafting the strategy which we call Vision 2027 today, building upon our old strategy of Vision 2022, which we successfully implemented and delivered on this year.
So when you talk about Vision 2022, what was that? How is it different from Vision 2027?
So Vision 2022 was pretty much, what we achieved in this last financial year. If you look at our report card, we kind of were a tick on all parameters, maybe, a little behind on restaurant counts due to COVID. But Vision 2027 essentially builds on that by ensuring that we double down on our foundational strategy. So it revolves around focusing on meals, since that's where most of consumer spends will remain. Focusing on omni-channel, which is the new added probably initiative over Vision 2022, because now our customers omni-channel. Our customers available everywhere, and we have multi-day parts, multi-channels, multi-categories to give them personalized experience across this whole omni-channel view. And lastly, it's about doubling stores. So that's something we also spoke about back in Vision 2022. But today, I think because our brand relevance and product market fit are so strong, we have a very strong opportunity on hand to double the number of restaurants that we stand at today. So from 360 restaurants to around 600 restaurants by 2027.
So more Happy Meals.
Yes, more Happy Meals, more burgers, more chicken, more coffee.
That's nice. So Akshay, tell me one thing. You call yourself a digital maverick or a tech enthusiast. So what sort of technological changes are you bringing in at the restaurants?
So, we started off with firstly modernizing our restaurants. We started that journey in 2015, 16 itself. Now, if you go into a McDonald's, it looks very different from what it did, right? 5, 7 years ago. We have self-ordering kiosks. In fact, we've seen 3x growth in business from these self-ordering kiosks because customers have accepted them. We have digital menu boards. We have a McDelivery app, which is something that, I take great pride in saying that we launched when I spearheaded the McDelivery project back in 2015. And today we've launched a new version along with the help of our team, our chief technology officer, our tech team that sits with us on microservices backend, on a fully new front end, and customers are really loving it. So these are just a few examples of how we've used technology to give a better customer experience at the front end. At the back end, we continue to use data centers. We've organized our data a lot better. We are exploring what AI and machine learning mean today, and we hope to use that both to improve productivity but also enhance customer experience.
So AI, you talk about AI technology. I mean, it's been adopted by each and every retail company these days. You talk about AI, Chat GPT, chatbot. What if technology replaces you? What will you do then?
So I think we're a far, cry away from that right now. I think that we're still exploring what AI means, whether it's Chat GPT, whether it's using AI to improve productivity, machine learning to give customers a more personalized experience. I think that the advances that we can make here will benefit humankind, whether it's in healthcare, whether it's in consumer industries like ours. But I think that we're still a far cry away from it replacing humans. I think humans created technology, created AI. So I think it's going to be a complementary and a collaborative relationship.
So you have been into the business from a really long time. You must have seen consumer behavior evolving basically after COVID got over. Because there was a time when people were happy going out, enjoying with their families, and came a time when they prefer sitting at their homes. Now they're again going home. So have you seen any changes in their preferences when they've again started going out?
I think one big change which has definitely benefited brands like ours is that they're looking to go out with their families, with their friends, enjoy the occasions that they go out for, because, for a long time they couldn't. And I think that brands like ours have remained aspirational. So they're looking for an aspirational experience too, where they get really good food, very good quality, the right price points, and a great experience. And I think a brand like McDonald's has continued to deliver on that. And that's where, we see the biggest shift. And that's how we've managed capturing more market share in an industry where you're seeing people go out a lot more.
Yeah. So there must be, being a second generation entrepreneur, you must have seen your parents have set some ethos for the company. Which are those ethos which you have taken an oath to take forward, maybe to build a more stronger brand going ahead?
So I think that's a very important question because, again, like I said, I've built on what, have been set as the foundation. And even our team, our new leadership team, is always continuing to look for advice from them. They mentor, all of us to ensure that the values of the organization remain sacrosanct. So values like, open door policy, transparency, treating people correctly, ensuring that employees are happy, the right work-life balance. We're going to continue to build on those type of values because we want to build a long-term brand. We're not looking for quick success. That's why we spent the last 25 years building this company and this brand. And I think we're going to spend the next 25 years making it into a marquee institution that, customers, employees, and shareholders will all want to be a part of.
So do you foresee your kids also coming in and joining in as a third generation entrepreneur?
I would definitely love that. I think, as a family that is involved in business and as a business family, we're constantly thinking about how can we continue to grow value and create value. So succession planning, having the right forums in place will allow, my children, my brother's children, my parents to ensure that we have a long-lasting legacy and we continue to thrive as a business.
So you teach and instill those values in your children since now, or how is it like?
So I don't have any children today, but
your brother's
definitely,
children?
yeah, my brother's children definitely are growing up closely associated with us, so the values will always be the same. I see a lot of my brother and sister-in-law and my parents and myself also in them. So I think that being such a close-knit family is very important to ensure that the values carry on. And that's exactly what we're doing today. We're setting up the foundation for long-term growth, for long-term value creation through the right forums, and to remain a thriving family business.
So actually, when setting up a long-term business, there might be some challenges that you might be facing. What are those challenges, and how are you overcoming those challenges?
So I think number one, you need to continue to stay abreast with what the customer wants. That's the number one challenge. And for that, we have strong research. We have technology also now that allows us to understand our customers a lot better. Data. So I think that's number one challenge. Number two challenge is ensuring that we're opening the right types of restaurants at the right pace. We have a large penetration opportunity in front of us, but we need to ensure that we are opening stores for the long term. And that's why I keep talking about long-term strategy, long-term business. And lastly, the right people. There's no, lack or dearth of talent in our country, but we want the right people in the right places. And I think we've done a great job in ensuring that our leadership team today is staffed with dynamic individuals, with motivated individuals, led by our managing director also, who's worked with us since the last 20 years. And, I've worked hand in hand with him since I've joined the business. He's taught me, a lot along with my parents and helped me get to where I am today. So I think I also want to play that role for the newer employees, the newer kind of structures that we're setting to ensure that we have the right people at the right time and in the right place.
So you're putting in a lot of efforts to make it a bigger brand going ahead that ways?
Yes, definitely. I think that, two things. One is obviously we want to, double our sales as per Vision 2027. We want to double our store count. We want to make this into a marquee institution. We want to institutionalize a lot of our processes. So I think, that's number one focus. And I think with the, tools we have in front of us, and the focus that we have, I don't think that that's something that's too far away from us.
So actually, I'll share an anecdote with you. To be honest, when I was also growing up, my first birthday with my friends, which I celebrated outside, was at McDonald's.
Fantastic.
So I mean, many people have such memories associated with McDonald's that ways. So do you have any plans to maybe make sure that memories keep on weaving? I mean, people still keep on having those memories with them for longer time?
But definitely, you kind of hit the nail on the head. Even one of my first birthday parties was at a McDonald's. And today, we're looking to bring more families to our restaurants. A lot of our strategies and marketing tactics are around bringing families back to our restaurants. They have come back in a big way through COVID and post-COVID. But I think that, the focus is even stronger now, whether it's through our meals platform, whether it's through our focus on birthday parties, whether it's through our focus on building larger restaurants, which are destinations, in smaller towns where families want to go out and have their weekend occasion at a McDonald's. So I think this is our number one focus. And our menu strategy, our digital strategy, our store expansion strategy is all deep-rooted around ensuring that, these are the type of customers that come to our restaurants.
So one game-changing innovation that you're doing is going like, oh, wow, innovation for the McDonald's going ahead. Which innovation would you like to highlight over here?
So we always look at it as, 1 + 1 + 1 is equal to 5. So it's a bunch of things that we keep doing that add up incrementally and then eventually exponentially. So I think, we've done a lot of great innovations. I would say McCafe is one of the proudest innovations for us, along with our whole digital platform, because McCafe was launched at the right time. Coffee consumption is low in our country but growing very fast,
Yeah.
and it's allowed our brand to become more premium or aspirational in the eyes of the customers, but at the same time it's part of the McDonald's brand, and it's handcrafted coffee at great prices. And I, for one, can't do without a McCafe cup of coffee every day. So I think that's something we're very proud of, because we've already penetrated almost 90% of our restaurants with these McCafes. It involves additional capex, but the returns have been far more than what we had expected. Sorry. So I think that's one, but we have multiple others, and hence 1 + 1 + 1 is equal to 5.
That's nice. So one last question from my side. Many burger chains came here in India after McDonald's, but McDonald's has not lost its sheen. What is that one thing which keeps on attracting people to McDonald's?
It's that we stay consistently available, and our promise is to deliver consistently delicious or good tasting food to our customers with a consistent experience. So it's not about kind of doing a gourmet experience, fine dining experience. It's about ensuring that McDonald's is that one meal you can eat where what you're getting, the quality that you're getting, the experience you're getting. And usually most people, while obviously you have bad experiences here and there across the millions of customers we serve, most people will always have 90 to 95% of the time a great experience at McDonald's when there's nothing else around. So if you see a McDonald's when you're driving past a highway, or you're in a small town or remote area, it's the first place you'll go to, because you trust the brand. And I think actually brand trust is what we've really worked on, and that's why McDonald's is where it is today and will continue to be where it is today. If you look at the top 10 brands in the world, McDonald's is the one brand that's remained across the last decade, when you've seen multiple, hundreds of billions of dollars being added in terms of market value through, brands that come and go.
So I'll tell you, McDonald's, when I went to Hong Kong, I was sure of one thing, McFries तो मुझे मिल ही जाएंगे. मतलब I was so sure that आलू तो हर जगह मिल जाएगा. Because being a vegetarian, I don't eat non-veg. So I still have an option at McDonald's. It caters to everybody's needs that ways.
Exactly. So it's about ensuring that we cater to everyone's needs. We're multi-day part, we're multi-category, we're omni-channel. So there's nothing that you can't get at a McDonald's. If you want a dessert, you can get a great dessert. If you want a breakfast product, we are global leaders in breakfast. We're one of the brands that we are the only brand that stands for breakfast. Whether it's in the country or in other parts of the world. So I think you said it very rightly, and that's what I also do as a traveler. When I'm at in a foreign destination and I don't know what to eat and I see a McDonald's, I'm very comfortable going in and having a burger and a Coke and a fries and enjoying myself.
That's nice. So before we wrap up, let's have a rapid chat where I'll be asking questions back to you, and I won't give you time to think about it.
Sure.
So are you more into reading or watching movies on Netflix or maybe some other channel?
So I prefer watching, Netflix or sports or that type of entertainment. I read books here and there, but I'm more into current affairs reading.
Oh, which is one news which is exciting you these days?
Which is one news? Oh,
See, you failed. You failed. You said you are into current affairs.
Yeah.
So tell me one thing what do you do in your favorite time? Everybody knows that you're running this restaurant, but one thing that you love to do in your free time?
I love to play golf. It's something that I kind of started doing last year, and I've kind of gotten really hooked on. I'm really passionate about it because it's a beautiful sport. It's in nature. It's about concentration. It's fun because you can probably play anywhere in the world. In terms of news also that excites me, business news, acquisitions, reading about how India is moving forward as an economy. I don't get into kind of political news too much. It's more about, reading about the different innovations that, brands like, say, Reliance, for example, just launching their new what do you call it, mutual fund with BlackRock. Found that super exciting and interesting that a brand or a company that's so large is still continuing to innovate.
So one brand or maybe one retailer that you want to follow and you admire a lot?
I would say Reliance. I think in terms of how they've been able to pivot from just being an oil energy company to telecom to retail to every type of kind of even financial services. Now they're talking about geo financial services. I think the way they execute is just phenomenal, and it inspires young leaders like myself that there's so much more we can do. It excites you every day that even at such a large scale they're able to continue to think about growth.
It's true that. Being a digital maverick, where do you shop from? Online or offline?
I shop both. Because I like going to stores, because even we run retail stores, and I think the biggest challenge that brands like ours have is bringing customers to stores. So I like going to stores to experience what changes they're bringing in, whether it's at, say, like a Zara or even like at a DMart, to see how they are kind of innovating in terms of their product portfolio. So I think I like doing both. Online is obviously far easier. It's quicker. You spend less time, especially in a congested city like ours. And you also get to experience the innovations that brands are kind of deploying in terms of their online experience. I think both is important, and that's why I keep talking about omni-channel.
True. Omnichannel is going to the future. It has become a need for today and is the future for the retail. I also strongly agree somehow. So my last question to you is, one thing that you have learned from your parents and you want people to learn from you going ahead. What is that one thing?
I think it's transparency and openness. I think I've learned that very carefully from my parents. I'm happy to share as much as I can to help people. I'm not shy in terms of displaying my weaknesses, even though I've always been kind of stronger on the outside. But I think because I've seen them grow this business, and I've seen them bring in leaders who are so loyal because of this transparency, this bonding family culture. I think that's something that I want to continue to build on. That's what kind of builds institutions, allows you to set your legacy, and allows people to respect you. Because when you can be vulnerable and transparent and open, I think that's how your leadership gets cemented further.
True that. It was pleasure talking to you, Akshay, today, and we really enjoyed this conversation. Hope you also enjoyed it.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure, and I'm hoping to do this again soon. Yeah.
Hope you guys also enjoyed the way me and Akshay enjoyed having this conversation. We have grown up eating at McDonald's, and I wish the coming generation also does the same. We'll see you again next week. Till then, bye-bye.